To conquer health and longevity, we must move beyond quick fixes, trendy diets, and fragmented advice. We need a holistic and integrated approach that combines science and the sacred divine text. This approach reconnects us with the innate wisdom of our bodies, aligns us with nature, and empowers us to take full control of our well-being. Hi everyone, Dr. Said Alareny here, Managing Director of Alareny Public Health, APH, with 15 years of experience in public health. Today, I'm pleased to present to you the content of our very first service, which is dedicated to a health promotion program entitled How to Conquer Health and Longevity. This program will be made available in 3 languages, Polar, French, and English. It will be accessible on our YouTube channel as well as on our official website, alareny.com. This program is extremely important. That is why we have chosen to make it available in 3 languages so that as many people as possible around the world can benefit from it. The content is made accessible to the general public as we avoid using technical medical jargon. As we begin this program, we pray that God enlightens and guides us to share the full content of this service purely for His sake. It is important to note that for the development of this program, we were inspired by 3 fundamental guiding questions. What is in your hands? What is in the hands of society? And what is in the hands of God? Throughout the program, we'll draw upon reliable evidence-based data from scientific articles, high-quality books, and reputable reports, as well as divine scriptures, namely the Quran, the Gospel, and the Torah. Let's dive in. First, let's begin with a general overview of the program. In this program, we will see after a general introduction, the first part, what is in your hands. Then we move to the second part, what is in the hands of society. And thirdly, we study what is in the hands of God. The last but not the least, we'll have a practical guide before the general conclusion. We will start the program with a general introduction in which we'll see the health and longevity issues worldwide. Then we will point out this program contributions. As we move into the details of the program, we'll begin with the first part entitled What is in Your Hands? It contains 30 chapters. We'll see that everyone has individual responsibilities while also having the power to connect with society and with God to conquer health and longevity. After a specific introduction for this part, we'll move to chapter 1, personal responsibility. Next, we will study how the body experiences happiness and stress. In chapter 3, we'll explore nutrition and tips for health and longevity. Moving forward, we will cover the contribution of practicing physical exercise to health and longevity. In chapter 5, we'll examine mental health and stress management. In addition, we will see sleep and recovery. Moreover, we'll enlighten the preventive healthcare and its benefits. Another key area we'll cover in chapter 8 is how curative care improves health and longevity. Then we will shift our focus to the role of health education based on credible information. This leads us to chapter 10, contributions of reading to health and longevity. Next, we will study how promoting epigenetics improves health and longevity. Another important aspect we will see is how positive thinking can contribute to health and longevity. Moving on, we'll address how gratitude contributes to health and longevity. In chapter 14, we'll explain how smiling improves health and longevity. Building on this, the following chapter will reveal how positive words contribute to health and longevity. In addition, we will tackle how charity and service to others improve health and longevity. In chapter 17, we'll focus on how respecting others contributes to health and longevity. Next, we will see how meaningful work contributes to health and longevity. Furthermore, we'll explore how humility contributes to health and longevity. Moving forward, chapter 20 will focus on how aligning our thoughts with daily tasks promotes health and longevity. Chapter 21 will cover how personal development improves health and longevity. Then we'll reveal how financial security improves health and longevity. Next, we'll study how discipline improves health and longevity. Moving on, chapter 24 will examine how personal hygiene improves health and longevity. In chapter 25, we'll explain how does feeling the presence of God in our daily lives contribute to health and longevity. Furthermore, we will see how simplicity in life promotes health and longevity. Moreover, we'll enlighten how planning improves health and longevity. In next chapter, we'll cover defeating the silent killers, preventing hypertension and diabetes before they start. This leads us to chapter 29, preventing foodborne illnesses, a vital issue for sustainable health. The last chapter in the first part is preventing rather than curing, transforming the fight against cancer on a global scale. Next, we'll move on to the second part entitled What is in the Hands of Society, which includes 14 chapters. We will see that health and longevity are deeply influenced by social structures and that society plays an essential role in helping individuals to conquer health and longevity. After a specific introduction for the second part, we'll move on to the next chapter on this program, the role of public health systems. Next, we'll cover the role of policies and environmental factors. In addition, we'll explain the necessity of education and community awareness. Building on this, the following chapter will point out social support systems. Another important aspect we will see in chapter 35 is occupational safety and health. Then we'll shift our focus to the role of justice in promoting health and longevity. Another key area we'll cover in chapter 37 is promoting safe transportation to improve health and longevity. In chapter 38, we'll explore how to manage climate change to improve health and longevity. Next, we'll see how promoting peace and avoiding wars improve health and longevity. Moreover, we'll study sustainable strategies for poverty reduction to improve health and longevity. Moving on, we'll examine how promoting research and innovation improve health and longevity. Furthermore, we'll explore how to prevent the transmission of epidemics in healthcare services and within the community. In chapter 43, we'll focus on protecting the most vulnerable, proven actions to save children, adolescents, women, people with disabilities, and the elderly. In the last chapter of the second part, we'll study the effective methods to prevent the 6 major vector-borne diseases worldwide. We'll now turn to the third part, what is in God's hands, which is divided into 4 chapters. Since God is the sole source of life, no discussion of health and longevity can be complete without considering his intervention. Based on the Holy Scriptures revealed through 3 of the greatest prophets, the Prophet Muhammad, the Prophet Jesus Christ, and the Prophet Moses, peace and blessings of God be upon them all, will draw upon divine wisdom to promote health and longevity. As for the Quran, revealed to the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of God be upon him, will rely on the following edition: Holy Quran, English translation of the meanings and commentary, devised and edited by the Presidency of Islamic Research, IFTA, Call and Guidance, and printed in Medina, Saudi Arabia in July 1985. Regarding the books revealed to the Prophet Jesus Christ and the Prophet Moses, peace and blessings of God be upon them, will respectively use the Gospel and the Torah from the King James Version of the Holy Bible, originally made in 1604. Then we will make a specific introduction for the third part to answer the question, what is in God's hands, based on the Holy Scriptures, before diving into chapter 45, promoting health and longevity according to the divine sacred scriptures. Building on this, we'll enlighten the divine influence on health. In addition, we'll discuss the importance of accepting life's challenges and trust in God. In the last chapter, we'll cover the historical faith-based approaches to longevity. While the first three parts, with their 48 chapters, will equip you with practical tools and actionable tips to answer the question how to conquer health and longevity, a fully customizable practical guide will come at the end to consolidate and complete the entire program. This practical guide will serve as your inner companion, enabling you to move from knowledge to action, from intention to transformation, and from hope to desired result, health, and longevity. Moving on, we'll reveal a specific introduction for this part, in which we'll highlight the purpose of this guide. This practical guide will have mainly two areas. The first area will cover a personalized initial self-assessment, which will include 4 sections. Firstly, we will talk about a general medical consultation with a doctor. Next, we will reveal how to identify habits that improve or harm health and longevity based on the 48 chapters of this program. Moreover, we'll show how to assess your level of well-being. Last point we'll cover in the first area of the practical guide will be prioritizing areas for improvement, choosing where to begin while maintaining strengths. The second area of this practical guide will be a personalized action plan, in which we'll see how to make a vision for health and longevity, how to build a mission, how to design an annual work plan including general objective, specific objectives, activities and tasks, how to make an annual activity schedule using Gantt chart, how to build your weekly and daily schedule, how to establish the conditions for resilience, how to implement activities including the terms of reference, how to build the discipline, and how to verify, celebrate, and improve. Finally, we'll give practical tips for productive daily work balanced with well-being before the general conclusion. To benefit from the next episode, which will provide a complete general introduction to the program, we invite you to subscribe now to our YouTube channel and turn on the notification bell. Thank you.